That's Lindsey Buckingham with Fleetwood Mac and My Little Demon. Okay, today's topic is. mm, mm, okay, this hat's going to talk. Okay, today's topic is letting go. Usually, when I'm talking about letting go, it's letting go of your control, letting go of control over. Um, mm, well, most people would say letting go of control would mean control over other people or maybe your horse, letting go of control of the situation. Usually, when I'm talking about it's letting go of control of your body. It doesn't mean, letting go of control of your body means you're going to shit your pants. No, it doesn't mean that. Letting go of control of your body means when you go into a meditation and you go very quiet within, and then you never leave the meditation, and then you allow your body to go and do what the body will do without your interference. Because what you are in that case is what we call the ego. And that is a form of letting go. But in this story, I'm going to talk about a different kind of letting go. And this kind of letting go is letting go of more and more. No, it's not going to talk. Letting go of more. Letting go of more what? Letting go of more. Letting go of morals. Why do you want to let go of morals? What are morals? They're generally considered codes of conduct. What is right and what is wrong. When you go golfing, there's what they call golfer's etiquette. What's the etiquette for? Primarily, after people have played golf for a long time, they can see how to organize the players so that the play of the game goes smoothly. But etiquette can also be used to abuse others. In other words, I'm going to make up some stupid rules and you're going to follow them because this is just the way we're going to do it. In other words, I'm just going to abuse my power over you. Now, I don't want to tell you that if you have your own personal morality, you have to try and figure out, well, is it to help smooth the play of my life for me? Or is it to be mindful of the needs of others? Or is it just, I'm going to make up some stupid rules that don't help me or don't help anyone else, but these are the rules we're going to follow? That gets me to more and more wondering why we are trying to gather together. We shall gather by the river. As in like an old hymn, it like makes no sense at all. But an old time gospel hour, they'll sing that song and they'll go like they'll look like a bunch of flippin' idiots What does it mean? We shall gather by the. If you're not a church person, you'll never understand. But if you're a church person, you'll know what I'm talking about, and you still won't understand. These old time hymns, some of them are so stupid. Tradition, someone says. Okay, so what do we want to talk about? Let's talk about. No, this one. No. Yeah, this one says, let's talk about France. Now, while everyone's been busy, I mean, it's right now, when I'm recording this, it's March the 20th, 2020. So if you're watching this sometime when it's not current events, the current events of this day are COVID-19 coronavirus and the massive social distancing among humans, closing of borders, quarantines. But if you're watching this sometime in the future when this current event is no longer a current event, some people say, well, it's after, COVID-19 kills off the whole population and there's no one to watch this video. Or we're all looking back and saying, well, it was another Zika, it was another SARS, it was another bird flu or another swine flu. Again and again, I'm changing hats to see what the hats say. This hat says, I understand why people. I don't know if that one really did understand or not. This one says, I do understand. And we question him. He says, I don't know. I just say it because I don't want to be questioned. In other words, if it's a test and I don't know the answer, if I say I understand to the questioner, maybe they won't press on with their questioning. Then they'll just say, oh, that person's okay. They understand. But I really don't understand. I just don't want to be, have the spotlight shone on me because I don't know. And I don't want to be questioned about why I don't know. I wish people would just leave me alone. Okay, this person is a bit of a rebel and they're more and more likely to say, yes. What do you want? And why are you here? And then they're going to play the cop. And they're going to have a friend who's also a cop. And they're going to play good cop, bad cop. And most people know what that is. It's like one of the cops is very much in your face, maybe just very intimidating, the bad cop. And the good cop is very quiet and polite and offers you a cup of coffee and a cigarette. Okay, so we're going to talk about instigators. Instigators, like in ice hockey, are the ones who start a fight. And they might not necessarily throw a punch. An instigator might just be playing dirty. They're playing fast and loose with the rules and hoping that the referees don't see them because they are trying to intimidate the other team using illegal means. Well, that's all this hat wants to say. And if you're the referee, what do you do? Well, at one time in ice hockey, they only had one referee, and then they decided it would be a better idea to have two referees, plus two linesmen who are supposed to be monitoring offside and icing, which are you don't really get a penalty for offside and icing. You a little bit of a penalty, but it's mostly just a do-over. Very minor penalties, but they have to be called. But the referees are to call the what they call penalties, the ones that you have to go to the penalty box for or get thrown out of the game for. Okay. Now this hat looks a lot like this hat. But they're not the same because this hat has a blue visor on it. So what does that mean? Well, when it comes to these penalties, a referee's got to be able to discern the difference between the two teams. Now, in the modern day NHL, National Hockey League, two teams have very similar uniforms. That is the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Blue and white. And, if you're a referee with these two teams playing and you catch something out of the corner of your eye, how are you going to make sure that what you saw out of the corner of your eye was the right player, given the fact that their uniforms are the same blue and white? All right, it's Christopher Isherwood, the novelist and playwright. I come on here from time to time to give you a author's view of what this drama is all about. This drama is all about where do we get involved? In other words, do we let the children play in the yard and let children be children? Or do we be monitoring the children all the time? Or do we want to get right in the middle of the children and tell them what to do? Okay, and we want to know who is really the ultimate arbitrator of what should be allowed in human relations and what should not be allowed. Usually it's sometimes it's what? It's not necessarily this hat doesn't want to speak anyway. So we're going to go hatless and say, today we had a warning in my town that the barbers and hair salons should be avoided, which means probably in a day or two they're going to close the barber shops and hair salons. It seems the only thing that they're really allowing people to do is get groceries. I don't want to tell you, but basically we are examining whether we are. I can't grab another hat because I can't see. Are we blind now? Have we blinded ourselves? So what happens if after 3 weeks or a month, I mean, I don't have any more to say. What if we have to get used to this? Because coronavirus, we got another strain because they're talking about now there's 2 strains of coronavirus. What happens if we get 4 or 8 or 12 strains of, in other words, are we going to have to stay in quarantine for the rest of our natural lives? Oh, that's not going to happen. I mean, these virus things, they always pass eventually. What else would you have us do to clear and present danger? And if we get 12 strains of coronavirus one after another, then for the next 12 months, you're just going to have long hair and a big beard because you won't be able to get it trimmed. You won't be able to go to the library. So, grandparents will never see their grandchildren. Why? Because my parents are grandparents and they won't see their grandchildren right now. Their grandchildren don't have a cold. But my parents are so paranoid, they don't want to see their own grandchildren. I can only tell you that we are in big doo doo, doggy doo doo that you stepped into. Because so many people are saying, I know, but the doctors say, and the World Health Organization says, and the news says, and do you really want to risk? Do you want to risk? Because that's what you're doing. You're putting people at risk. So instead of living our lives, we have succumbed to the problem of this is the problem. I know, but there's really a disease going around. Haven't you, heard the news? I don't know how to tell you, but Christopher has decided to go away. So, in search of resolution, I got to tell you, in my own personal life, I have got great reservations about letting go of my freedom. Just as much as people in their paranoid delusions feel like everyone needs to wear gloves and, the $350 masks all the time, I feel like I want freedom. So, what I would propose is that we take, I don't know, let's go with 1/10 of the world. 1/10 of the world for freedom loving people. And those people right now are on the beaches in Florida on spring break having a wonderful time. That's where I want to be, with those people. And all the rest of you, you can build a wall at the border of Florida, the northern border of Florida. We're going to build a wall. And the rest of you can stay the hell out of Florida. And if you're someone who's into quarantines and masks, I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave Florida. But the ones that want to be free, we're going to go to Florida. It's going to be our country. And we're not going to allow any of you people to broadcast your propaganda in Florida. You're not going to be able to fly over and drop leaflets. You're not going to be able to take your boat just offshore the beaches of Florida and get megaphones megaphones, those big things that you talk into amplify your voices and saying, oh, you're in the wrong. No, we want to be free. We want to be free, and we want to play on the beach, and we want to enjoy ourselves. And the rest of you can go to hell. Because that's basically what you're living in, and you choose hell day after day because you listen to this Wag the Dog scenario. Wag the Dog was a 1997 movie about a faked crisis put on national media by a president who's was looking at not getting reelected. If you insist on listening to mass media, the World Health Organization, and whatever else you think is important, what about the doctors? What about the doctors? Who teaches doctors how to be doctors? It's pretty much the curriculum that they have to take, and the curriculum tells them what to think. What about the lab rats? Who teaches lab rats what's what? What about these experiments that show, bacterial infections and things? Who cares? In other words, I don't know, but I don't want to spend the rest of my life in quarantine. And if it means that I have to take on my own personal sovereignty and decide for myself, that's what I want to do. I want to be free. I want to be free. And people say, you're taking a risk. It's like, I choose it. Just like you choose to brainwash yourself and never look at any new information, I choose to use my own choice. So we need a great separation. We need a great separation of those who choose to be free and those who choose to live in fear and give away their power to some authority figure because they figure somehow the authority figure is smarter than who they are. If that's what you want to do, that's what you're doing. But I don't want your garbage, stupid, non-critical thinking mind to tell me what to do. And they keep saying, well, what if you drop dead? If I drop dead, then you can laugh and clap. But I will drop dead a free man. And the rest of you will be prisoners by your own choice. How's this all supposed to happen? Well, it's just a story. But in my heart of hearts, I want to be free. And I have seen enough history to know that our mass media are used to control us, to keep us sheeple. And if you haven't figured it out after all these years, then you don't have anything going on in your own head. And it's not my fault, because the information is all there. And if you choose to be ignorant or to poo-poo it, then it's your choice. But I refuse to submit to your stupid. And you look at me and you say, I'm stupid. My own sovereign will is to be free and to choose for myself. Your sovereign right is to give away your power to some authority that you know is corrupt and has lied to you and lied to you and lied to you and lied to you. So I guess we're at an impasse. How is it going to get resolved? It's never going to get resolved. This is another aspect of the human condition. Living amongst people that you don't want in your life. You are here on quarantine planet Earth, Some people say to learn your lessons. I say you're here because you are here. And you're here to make the best of it. And when your own internal wisdom says what it says, and someone else's internal wisdom says you're wrong, this is basically what happens with humans who can't agree. And to agree to disagree doesn't really work when one group of humans have got all the force they need to implement their plan to quarantine the world. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoy what I tell you, please subscribe. And if you find that I'm revolting, please subscribe anyway, because sometimes you get sick of all the sycophants. Those are people that always agree with what you have to say. If you get sick of hearing people always agreeing with you, and you just want somebody else's opinion that's not in agreement with you and your sycophants, maybe you'd like to have somebody like me on your subscription list just to make it go. It causes cognitive dissonance in my head every time I watch it. Cognitive dissonance, it's a psychological term. It means, all the school of thought that's going on in my head conflicts with the new information that this guy keeps telling me. Thank you for watching, and tune in another time.